Right, we're looking at 13B and 1B today. This is the spider's web. That's the finished article. I'm going to be doing a half circle on this video to show you how to set it up. Right, using number 13B, which is the Baptist fan, and I've done my straight line to denote the centre of my circle. And you've got a straight line across here. Put that onto the line that you've already got and stitch your first curve. Okay, so we stitch around there, turn, put your scroll line onto what you've sewn and stitch down to your line. Open the gate and stitch up to your next pattern repeat up that line. Turn the ruler and make sure that that is in the centre of the channel and stitch round. Turn, put your scroll line on and stitch. Turn, scroll line on and stitch. You've got a line all the way across there, stitch up that line to the next pattern repeat, turn the ruler, put your scroll line on and stitch to the end, your stop mark. Scroll, put your scroll line on what you've just sewn and stitch to the stop line. Turn, scroll line on, stitch to stop line. Turn, scroll line on and stitch to the line. Bring it round and stitch up to the next pattern repeat. Turn, put your scroll line on, you'll see everything's matching. Stop line, turn, put your scroll lines on. Stop, turn, scroll lines on and stitch round. It's a very methodical ruler, this is, which suits us because we're methodical people. Open the gate and stitch up to your last pattern repeat. Turn and put your scroll line on. Stitch all the way along. Scroll lines on. Scroll lines on. That's the basis of your spider's web completed. Now we need to find the centre of there. So I'm just going to put a little dot in there to find my centre. And I'm just using the lines on the ruler. I'm equalising those there and putting the centre there. Okay, that's the only dot I need to use. Now we'll use our straight line. The straight line centres on that line there and put your foot down. Now I'm going to stitch up the centre of there and extend it past and away and then come back down. Turn the ruler and using these two scroll lines here, sit those at 45 degrees there and stitch up. Turn the ruler and using the markings on the ruler, get your central line again. I'm using those two dots there to get my line. And come back. Turn. Put your two lines on. And stitch up. I'm trying not to get my head in the way of the camera for when I'm marking the lines out. going to turn it round so you can see where I'm marking to. Okay, those 2 marks there. Just even them out up against the lines that you've sewn and stitch up. And repeat there. Just going to bring that round so that I can see where I'm going. There we are. Right, that's the straight line piece of the packing done. Now we put the pretty bits on. Take the straight line ruler away and bring number 13 back. I'm just going to cut that out of the way. Right, I'm going to start on the edge here and I'm going to join those 2 lines together, making sure that the point is in the centre of the channel, because that's where the needle will end up. And I'm turning the ruler so that it's now convex, as opposed to the concave I did previously. Just match it up. Make sure that it's in the centre of the channel, because that's where the needle will end up. This is the same all the way down the lines on here. You're making sure that the line is in the centre, because that's where you want to finish. Now, my choice is to break the thread off at the end of each line. It's entirely up to you what you do. You can stitch down. I prefer to break off. It's personal choice. Now I'm going to come here, make sure it's in the centre, and stitch from line to line. Bring it along, stitch line to line. It's a very shallow curve here. You don't need it big. When you study a spider's web, you see that it's nice and shallow, very elegant, which is what this will turn out to be. I won't talk as much, I'll just get on with the sewing. You can see what I'm doing. Bring it round, make sure it's in the centre, and stitch from one line to the next. Very simple movement, methodical movement, and because you can see through the ruler and you can see the lines, it's very easy. Once you get into the habit of turning the ruler and getting where you want to go into the centre of the channel, because that's where it'll finish up. We've got 2 more lines to do and that will be it finished. Start there in the centre and up, centrise and up. Very simple, very effective, and every ruler will do a pattern as you turn. Doesn't matter which way you do it, your curves are going to be the same. These are nice shallow curves and big winding circles. We're on the last line now. Bring her round, sit her in the centre. It's very, very simple, very, very effective. Almost a shame when you come to the end. That's your spider's web. Very effective. Beautiful, in fact. That's number 13B and number 1. Spider's web. Enjoy.